Hey guys, it's Dwayne Huff with Influence Seminars. Hope you are doing well. I know we're all hunkered down, quarantined, living in our own space, getting cabin fever, wanting to get outside. It's actually been a great day outside. A little warm, a little cool, going on, nice weather. So I've been trying to work outside a little bit, but I've been in my office here recently and I'm starting to get cabin fever. So I wanted to go live and shoot this video for you because I want to talk about how we can maximize the opportunity that we've been given in this downtime that we have, because a lot of us are having to work at home and not be connected to the people that we normally are. We're not going out. We're not going to offices, and we're not around the people we're normally around. But this is not a time to disconnect with the people that mean the most to us and that matter to us in our personal and our professional lives. So this is an opportunity, and I wanted to build upon that because I've been reaching out to people that I haven't connected with in a long time, just to find out how they are and to see if there's anything that I can do to serve them. So while I was doing that, one thing just popped into my mind, and I wanted to go live and share it with you guys, and you can probably see it in the notes here if you're watching this on the replay at least. Here's the question: is there one thing that if you were to do it right now, starting right now and continuing to do it, that could change the game for you in your personal and professional life and help you go from where you are right now to where it is you want to be, whatever goals or dreams or aspirations you have personally or professionally? Is there one thing that you can do that will move the needle faster than anything and take away the headache, the heartache, the guessing, the trial and error? The answer is yes, there is. I'm going to tell you what that is, and I'm going to prove it to you all in this video. And if you like what I do here tomorrow, which is March 22nd at 6 p.m. Central, which is 4 p.m. on the Pacific and 7 Eastern, I'm going to do a live masterclass where I'm going to dive way deep into this for about 40 minutes. And I'm going to teach and share with you free of charge. Nothing to sell, nothing at the end, just me and you. I'm going to share with you about this one thing, and how it can change everything for you starting right now, even if you're isolated and hunkering down in quarantine and all that kind of good stuff, right? So what is that one thing? Now, I just did a big old PowerPoint slide. I thought I could share my screen, but I can't. So I've got my notes right over here. I might look at them, but I'm going to try to walk through this. I'm going to walk through this step by step and help you to see this one thing that can just really change the game for you. It's changed the game for me. It's changed the game for the people that I've worked with. If you want to join me live tomorrow, I'm going via Zoom, so it won't be here on Facebook. And the only way you'll be able to access that live training is to run over to influenceseminars.com. On the page, there's a Influence mini course, and so you'll get some training right away. But I'll also send you the login information for that Zoom call. So if you want it, run over to influenceseminars.com, grab that mini course, and I'll send you an email with the mini course and with the login information for the live treats. But without further ado, here's the one thing. And here's the thing. It doesn't matter whether it's personal and professional. It doesn't matter if you're whatever profession you're in, a doctor, a lawyer, an educator, a sales professional, grocery store, whatever you do. I'm just thinking grocery store because the grocery stores are open, right? No matter what industry you work in, whether you want to achieve this personally and professionally, whether you're the boss, whether you're the CEO, frontline manager, frontline employee, executive, entrepreneur, teacher, parent, spouse, friend, whatever the case might be, and you're wanting more or better opportunities in your life, success in your life, more money, more friendships, more relationships, better relationships, whatever it is you're striving from. If you're here and you want to be here, the one thing that can get you there is influence. And I'm going to prove it to you and tell you exactly what that means. But without jumping into it right quick, for those of you who don't know me, just a quick background. How do I know this, and who am I to share this with you? For the past 10 years, I spent 14 years as a sales professional across industries, last 6.5 years as a pharmaceutical sales professional. 10 years ago, I took the leap of faith, jumped out with one client to start my own business. That client promised me 6 months of work. That 6 months turned into 2.5 years worth of relationship, and I build, grow, and develop from there. And here we are. Actually, it's 11 years. It's going to be 11 years in July that I've been on my own 100% working for myself. And influence and everything we're going to talk about here, what I'm going to unpack for you and show you, has been the key to my success when I look back at my sales career and what I've been able to achieve in business. Now, look, I'm not saying that to impress you, but to impress upon you that as an employee, who then transitioned into a business owner and had to work with frontline employees, executives, managers, teachers, students, across industries, across the board, this was the one key common denominator and factor that allowed me to open doors for myself and to have opportunities that I wouldn't have had otherwise, And so I want to break it apart for you and prove to you that this one thing, influence, can change the game for you. In order to do that, I've got to kind of back up and tell you where I learned this. Over the last 10 years, I've worked with small, medium, and large companies, Dell, Capital One, here in Baton Rouge, Lipsy's, which is a very big company, Joseph A. Bink, Merrill Lynch, Verizon Wireless. I mean, the list just goes on. I'm not here trying to brag. I'm just trying to here's where I've learned this stuff. Here's where it's come from. But there were a couple of pivotal moments. One happened probably 1996 when I first got into sales, and the other one happened 6 years ago. And I'm going to tell you about both of those. So let me start with a foundation. One of my favorite mentors, and I've had a lot in my life. I saw a leadership speaker for the first time whenever I was 15 years old. Changed game for me. It's why I do what I do today. His name is Dr. Tim Lotzenheiser, absolutely amazing human being. But in that moment at 15 years old, I knew in no uncertain terms what I wanted to accomplish with my life. I wanted to be a professional speaker. I wanted to go out and help people achieve their very best, feel the very best they could about themselves, and live out their full potential, right? And so I went on a journey at that moment at 15 years old with conviction and passion, knowing I want to understand what makes people tick, what makes people work, what makes people succeed, and what causes them to fail. And I went on that journey and I devoured books, and back then tapes and CDs and DVDs, and now YouTube videos since I'm 15 years old, trying to unravel this and say, what is it? Is there one thing that can change the game for people? And so a couple of defining moments in my life along that journey, I had a couple of mentors. And what I want to tell you about, this really happened for me 6 years ago. A man by the name of John Maxwell. If you don't know John Maxwell, look him up. For like 6 years in a row, was named the #1 leadership and professional development expert, or guru, if you will, in the entire world. And 6 years ago, I went away to Florida to certify to be a certified speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell organization. It's one of my certifications that I use in my Influence Seminars company. And all of us newbies got a rare opportunity. We got to spend 5 minutes one-on-one with the man himself. Now, I don't know if you've ever met one of your idols or an expert or a guru or somebody you respect, and you had a brief moment with them, and they said, hey, what question you have? I'll answer anything you have. Most people would freeze or go, I knew exactly what I wanted to ask that dude. I was ready for it. Because there's two phrases that he, or quotes, if you will, that he's known for saying. Number one is this: leadership, everything rises and falls with leadership. And if you're anything like me, well, most people would say, well, Dwayne, I'm not a leader. That has nothing to do with me. And I'm here to impress upon you that you'll see how this applies directly to you, because all of us in some capacity are leading other people. If you're a parent, you know that. If you're a teacher, you know that. If you're an executive, a manager, even a frontline employee or a student, you know that. You're influencing somebody, and therefore you lead. Because the next phrase or the next quote that really stood out to me that Dr. Maxwell said was, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And so let's take those two together. Everything rises and falls with leadership. Your family, your church, your business, your company, your relationships, everything rises and falls with leadership. Well, if that's the case, and leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less, what I wanted to ask Dr. Maxwell, and I got the opportunity to do it, he said, Dwayne, what do you have? What do you have for me? I said, well, Dr. Maxwell, I love when you say leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. But in the context, I have to understand, what is influence? He said, Dwayne, in the context of leadership, influence is this: when we influence people, we add value to their lives and to their businesses. We add value to their lives or to their businesses. And I want to share another definition that I've come up with over the years. I got my notes here in front of me. Forgive me, I've got to use my glasses to look. To add to that one, and in this context, influence means to lead people to make decisions and take actions that are in their best interest and produce mutually beneficial outcomes. So influence is adding value to the lives and businesses of others, and it's the way that we lead people to make decisions and take actions that are in their best interest and produce a mutually beneficial outcome. So let me build upon that. Well, when Dr. Maxwell told me, Dwayne, you have to be able to add value to the lives and businesses of other people, he backed up. He said, but let me ask you this. He said, have you ever tried to do anything, buy anything, say anything, give anything, create something for somebody and give it to them or try to give it to them only to have them in some form or fashion resist, push back, or decline? I said, yeah. He said, how'd that make you feel? I said, depending on the situation, anywhere from annoyed to lousy. He said, yeah. He said, why do you think that happened? I said, well, I don't know. He said, because you tried to give them something that they did not value. I was like, yeah. He says, and so in order to influence people and add value to their lives, we have to understand what it is they already value or what they already want. He says there's a key distinction there, Dwayne. He says, people will beg for what they need, but they'll spend money on what they want or what they value, right? So if we give something or try to give somebody something that we think they should need or that we know that they need, many times they're going to resist it because it's not what they value. So we have to understand what it is they already value. And we're able to give them that or get them more of it. We influence them, therefore we lead them. And it reminded me of something that one of my earlier mentors, when I stepped into the arena of sales, said. His name is Zig Ziglar. If you've been in sales, you know who he is. If not, he's one of the leading sales authorities in the world. Well, he's passed, but he was, right? And he was always known for saying you can have anything in life you want to have as long as you're willing to help enough other people get what they want. You can have anything in life you want as long as you help enough other people get what they want. And the key to that is you have to get them that first. Now, if you think about what Dr. Maxwell said, when you influence, is helping them get or giving them more of what they want. And Zig said you can have anything in life you want as long as you're willing to help enough other people get what they want. Well, so the natural question for me when this light bulb went off, I said, okay, I get it. But how? how do I know? How do I know what other people value so that I can give them that or give them more of it? By the way, guys, if you're digging this teach, join me tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'm going live on Zoom, but you have to have the link. So if you want the link, run over to influenceseminars.com, grab the free mini course. That'll be some additional training for you, but then I'll send you the registration for the Zoom call. But anyway, I said, how do we do this? He said, Dwayne, he said, there's no such thing as a lazy connector, which means as leaders, as influencers, we have to be willing to connect with people. And a little bit more on that later. But what that means, Dwayne, is that you have to leave your place of comfort, your comfort zone, and you have to stop waiting for people to come to you. You have to go to them where they're comfortable. Without an agenda, set your agenda aside. Your only purpose is to listen and understand and to build relationship. And if you listen long enough, if you pay attention, if you build relationship, if you earn their trust and you listen long enough, they're going to tell everything they want, they need, they expect. They're going to tell you what they hate. They're going to tell you what they love. They're going to tell you where they spend their time and their money. And when you listen long enough, eventually you're going to find what it is they value. And when you find out what it is they value, help them to get more of that or give them what they value. Therefore, you influence them. Therefore, you lead them. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Everything rises and falls with leadership. But that wasn't enough for me. I did a little bit more digging, and here's what I found. Again, I'm going to look at my notes. I hope you're enjoying this. If you are, give me a thumbs up, drop a question or a comment, share this with somebody who needs to hear it, and join me for that live Zoom tomorrow. If you want the link, run over to influenceseminars.com, grab the free mini course that's on the homepage, and I will send you the link, even if you're watching this on the replay. But here's the other piece that I want to add to it. Again, I wanted to go live and share my screen, but apparently I can't do that live. Here's the other part. When I said influence means to lead people to make decisions and take actions that are in their best interest, but to produce mutually beneficial results. When I say lead in that context, leading them means in the way that you connect, communicate, build trust, present your ideas, business products, services, and solutions. So it can be personal and professional. But more specifically, it means mastering the individual skill sets that roll up into making you more influential or allowing you that one thing, which is influence. And here's what they are. Number one, And I'm going to go deeper into these tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central. So if you want to join me for that live Zoom, you'll need the registration link. Run over to influenceseminars.com. Get the free mini course. Put your name and email address. I'll send you the mini course and I'll send you the registration. But the first one is the way we connect with people. And it's not just about connecting with people. It's about how we connect with them on an emotional level. As human beings, we tend to think that we, just look at my nose, sorry. Notes, not nose. We think that we're logical creatures, and we are. We make decisions. We have a left brain and a right brain. But when it comes to buying or buying in to a person, a product, a service, an individual, a solution, an idea, that buying decision happens emotionally. And I'm going to go further into this tomorrow on that live Zoom, so be sure to join me. But I'll break it down for you real quick. The brain is basically broken into 3 parts: fight or flight mechanism, emotional center, analytical center, right? And this part of the brain only understands what we feel. It doesn't understand anything else. Words, number, facts, statistics, data, information. It doesn't understand that. It can only understand how we feel. This part of the brain understands logic, reason, facts, statistics, and makes sense of everything. This part of the brain, if you get in trouble, fight, flight, or freeze. That's what it does, right? And so when we make a connection with people, we have to make that connection on an emotional level, which is right here. So the walls come down, right? And they feel connected and bonded to us. They know us, they like us, and they trust us. And then once that happens, the second thing we need to be able to do is communicate with them effectively on their terms. How many times have you tried to tell a story or tell somebody something or try to explain something to somebody and they just weren't getting it? It was a disconnect. It wasn't happening. Many times it could have been because of the words you were using, your body language, or how you were saying what you were saying, which we'll dig into more tomorrow. But mentally speaking, there were barriers of communication that you weren't breaking through. And a simple analogy is you weren't connecting the dots in their mind the way that they were connected in your mind, right? And so we have to be able to do that. The next skill that we have to master in order to, sorry, I'm looking at my, I'm looking for my notes here. It just disappeared on me. There it is. Is our ability, once we've communicated and made that connection, is to build trust and to build relationships. Again, with that emotional connection, building a relationship that's long-term and that's trustful. And it can be personal or professional. In fact, I heard somebody say the other day, they said, there are no business relationships. There are only personal relationships. And we do business with those people, right? And I thought that was very powerful because it's absolutely true. Once we've earned the trust, built relationships, connected on an emotional level, and we're communicating, then everything else of influence unflows. The way we present, like I said, the way we communicate and connect the dots for people so that they understand where we're coming from. Present our ideas, deliver presentations, present our solutions, our products, our services, our promotion at an interview, the way we present to our people so they get on board, they follow our vision, how we do that in written word, how we do that verbally, how we do that over video now that we're all quarantined, and how we do that in person when we get to be in person again. Very powerful influencer of your influence, which is the one thing. And finally, actually 3 more things: how we sell and persuade. Now, I know right there, I'm going to stop right there. Sell and persuade. Sorry, Dwayne, I'm out. I'm not selling. I hate salespeople, and I'm not persuading. I don't mean coercing. I don't mean manipulating. I mean selling, and I mean persuading. Here's what I mean by that. In today's day and age, when I said lead people to make decisions and take actions that are in their best interest, whenever you connect emotionally and you are giving people what they value and what they already want, many times change is the enemy. And your ability to sell simply means your ability to be passionate, enthusiastic about something you know is in their best interest, telling a story around it, educating them, and helping to see how making that decision or taking that action is better than staying where they are or not making any decision at all. In order to do that with your influence, with your passion, with your enthusiasm, if I didn't say that before, that's the most compelling thing you can do. And you know what? You do it every day. If you bought a nice pair of shoes and you went and told your friend, you were selling. If you got something off of Amazon, it was 40% off, you were selling. If you told somebody about your favorite restaurant, you were selling with passion and enthusiasm. You were simply helping them and pushing them to make a decision that was in their best interest, because you'd had that experience. And that's all you're doing when you sell and persuade. The next thing, when you're selling and persuading, you're going to have to work through and help them reach mutually beneficial outcomes, how it benefits you, how it benefits them. And that comes down to how we negotiate. Now, the very thought of negotiating for some people who are not used to negotiating, and for some reason, women don't like to negotiate. I don't know why that is, but statistically speaking, we put the wall up. We hesitate because we think it has to be confrontational or lose-win. It doesn't have to be. It can be win-win. Excuse me. And then finally, when we wrap all the things together, how we connect, how we communicate, how we build trust, how we build relationships, how we present, how we sell and persuade, how we negotiate, that all contributes to our leadership. And it brings us all the way back to the beginning where John Maxwell said, everything rises and falls with leadership. And leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So if everything rises and falls with leadership, if everything rises and falls with leadership, it means everything you're trying to accomplish rises and falls with your ability to influence another human being, because all opportunity comes through human beings. So look, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that made sense. I am going to go back through that visually in the live session, but I'm going to break down each one of those disciplines and give you something that you can use right now to make yourself more influential. So whether it's personal or professional, you can go from where you are to where you want to be and achieve those goals and dreams much faster. But if you want that deeper dive, you got to join me tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central on Zoom. I'll be going live. It'll be a live masterclass. Nothing to buy, no sell, just me teaching and serving in this time when we're all these words, right? Where we're all hunkered down and quarantined. That's the word. I was looking sequestered. What's that, right? Anyway, so join me. Run over to influenceseminars.com. Grab the free mini course on the homepage. Drop your name and email address. I'll send that to you, but that will also give me the email address to send your Zoom link to you. That's the only way you can get in on this. There will not be a recording that I will post. You have to be with me live if you want to learn these things. I'm going to break down each one of those disciplines and give you something that you can take action on right now. So whether you're trying to get a promotion, whether you're trying to get a raise, whether you're trying to get your employees to listen to you, whether you're trying to get your boss to understand that you've got a better way, whether you're trying to get your kids to go to bed early at night, whether you're trying to convince your spouse that the next vacation needs to be in this place instead of this place, whether you're trying to persuade somebody that the best restaurant in town is this restaurant, you need to increase your influence, because that one thing can change the game for you. I hope this has served you. Share it with somebody. Drop a comment, ask a question. Join me tomorrow at 6 p.m. Go to influenceseminars.com, grab the free mini course. I'll send you the registration link to the Zoom call, and I can't wait to see you there. Have a great day. Go out and serve some people, influence some people, and reach back out to me. Let me know how it goes. But join me tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central on Zoom. Talk soon. Bye-bye.